Thank you for joining us on this Wednesday morning. I'm meteorologist Jen Carfagno.
And I'm Anna Rodriguez. We're in the last few days of September, and we're finally feeling like fall in much of the country.
Yeah, we got some cooler temperatures out there, but we're also ending the month with some stormy weather and some rain heading your way. Actually, are not rising anymore for the most part. They're coming down. So let's show you what we are dealing with. Still have river flood warnings up. Even as those rivers come down, they're coming down, and some in major, some in moderate flood stage. So there still are impacts being felt even as the water comes down across the area. Cedar Rapids is one spot we've been watching very closely. Still up at major flood stage, but the river did crest yesterday. We still have another day or two that we're going to spend up here in the purple zone or the major flood stage zone. You take a look at that forecast in Cedar Rapids. So it crested at 21.97, down a little bit from where it was expected to crest, which is good news, right? But still at the second highest on record crest. And we're going to stay up at the major flooding at least through Thursday and Friday.
All that water pushing.
Midway through the week here today, hump day, right? So we've got this upper level low, and if you know anything about the weather, you know these upper level lows get stuck and they don't go anywhere, and we will continue to watch this be a feature of our forecast right through the rest of the week in the Midwest, in the Mid-Atlantic, and in the Northeast. So that's going to be one thing the weekend in view maps will tell us. Also watching, though, a lot of high pressure in the west, in the middle of the country. Really, that's going to be some of our best weather. And thank you for staying with us on AMHQ Early. We're coming up right now on half past the hour. I'm meteorologist Jen Carfagno.
And I'm Anna Rodriguez. Quite a few of us noticing a difference when we wake up this morning. Temperatures haven't felt this good in some places since May. Believe it or not.
All right, so something that we've not experienced is a lot of rain lately, right? We are going to see that threat today. You move into the Mid-Atlantic, and that's a spot that will be. So where's this rain coming from? Let's take a look at the pattern. It's very complicated. We do have a flash flood watch up that goes through at least Friday morning. It includes Winchester, Virginia, D.C., Fredericksburg, and up towards Baltimore in Maryland. So this area right here, and especially when you get into the mountains a little bit, we're going to be watching for that upslope flow to really enhance the rainfall. So what we have going on with the large scale pattern is an upper level low that's actually over the Great Lakes and moving into the Ohio Valley. This gets stuck. So this becomes the big sort of anchor feature of our weather pattern. But then with this old front that we've had, you know, that came through yesterday but didn't really come through, just kind of stalled out right here. The front's there, and then an area of low pressure develops along that in relationship to this upper level low. So all of this just helps to draw up moisture with winds either coming from the south or coming from the southeast. So we get Atlantic moisture into the area, and the front, the mountains, the low, everything going to act to just focus the rain in this area. So through the Mid-Atlantic, northern Virginia, western Maryland, into eastern Maryland too, we're going to be watching for some of that heaviest of rain. Southeastern Pennsylvania, we could get some heavier rain too, and we'll see that forecast for rain today, especially heavy tonight and tomorrow, and then continuing into Friday, and it actually continues into Saturday as well. Now by Saturday, the upper level low will start lifting out and start weakening, but it's still here and still affecting our forecast. Taiwan, you know, we took a left, we took a right, and then this one came in square in the middle. Let's show you where Meiji is right now. So it did make its second landfall in China, and now we're seeing it weaken. The last advisory has been written, so we don't have new information on it, but you can see how the clouds have certainly overtaken the area, but there's, you know, no eye anymore. It's been weakening very quickly, and did actually before it made its China landfall. Still looking for rainfall to be the biggest problem with it now, though, as it continues to move in. The higher terrain will, of course, exacerbate that rainfall, and we've got rain potentially 3 to 5 inches with 5 to 8 inches of rain in some local areas. So that's what's happening in the Western Pacific. East Pac, we've got hurricane. This just happened. It rapidly increased to a hurricane here in the Central Pacific. This is Eureka. This one should weaken before it gets to Hawaii, but could send some waves its way, especially now that it's increased to hurricane. And then Tropical Storm Rosalind, which is just a ghost of a storm, but some of the moisture will get drawn up into the southwest. And then Invest 97L, and this is the one that has been garnering a lot of attention. Certainly watching this for potential impacts into the islands starting today. Now, as you take a look at just the general cloud shield associated with this circulation, you can see already we're getting some clouds out here and some probably squally weather out in some of those windward islands, especially the southern islands. Now, as we watch this, there is already wind speeds up to 40 miles per hour estimated by satellite, and the hurricane hunters went in yesterday. But what the hurricane hunters didn't find was a closed circulation. So that's what they'll go in again this morning to look for as they continue to investigate this particular Invest 97L. It's fairly far south. It's a low rider, as they're called. So the Windward Islands, we're talking St. Lucia, we're talking all the way down to even Trinidad, even the ABC Islands right here, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, have to be watching this one pretty closely, and which you don't often do here. But it makes that westward track, and the models are pretty confident on that, and then it makes a turn. And where does it go, and how quickly does it do it, and what kind of strength does it have right now at this point when it makes that turn? That's all the forecast challenge. All right, so that'll be something that we continue to watch here, certainly getting into the weekend and into early next week. Anna Rittis over here into eastern Cuba, the Bahamas.
I've been watching this forecast particularly because I'm headed to the Dominican Republic, and I like